What is up, legends? We are back, and we're back in Aether Gazer. So I want to explain two things that there was two major questions asked to me. How did I level up? Was I actually playing manually the whole time? For bosses, yes, but you can AFK as long as you have your team built properly, and I'll explain that in a second. And the other one is the explode build. I never actually explained what the explode build is, so I did, but I'll actually address it now. So Hodur is a very linear character when it comes to how she attacks and what she does and what she lacks, which is what I told in comment to a commenter yesterday. She lacks engagement. And what I mean by that basically is that when she goes to actually fight, she has to get into range to actually fight, and she has a limited range on top of that. She's a short to medium range character. She actually can't go all the way across the screen except for one attack, and that attack is on the cooldown. So what you essentially have to do is you have to get into the range of stuff, and then her run speed is not as fast as, say, like Shinri is as well. Sakura has the same problem as well. Sakura, she kind of like just dances and prances around everything else. She's not really that fast. Shinri is fast. Yes. And then her attacks actually auto aim track onto stuff too. So she gets in and just does damage like almost immediately to stuff, when I have to actually, like with Hodur, I have to get into range to actually do the DPS, which is one of the reasons why she would fall behind. But she's just a normal A character anyway, so she's not supposed to be doing the ridiculousness that Shinri does. But when you put them together, something nice and magical happens. So that's a different topic though. So with her, what I actually did code wise, because this is also a question, I lean towards her blast, which me, as you can see, is Phantom Blast now because I have her weapon. The first one is increased non-dot damage subsequent hits by 3% per enemy hit with Phantom Blast, which is like just basically a scale up damage. Phantom Blast inflicts trauma on enemies for 10 seconds. Trauma deals shadow damage equal to 10% of every 3 seconds of attack and can be stacked. Now, it's funny because she really isn't a dot damage character, but dot damage scales in this game, and it scales a lot. It scales off of whatever attack I have on her. So if I hit a boss and have to move or something like that, this is still going to tick and keep going. And then on the bottom one right there, shortens the cooldown of Phantom Blast by 2 seconds when this mod triggers a dodge effect. Shortens the remaining cooldown of Phantom Blast by 2 seconds, which allows me to do the stacking trauma. I usually end up being able, as long as I'm dodging and everything else, which you will be for the most case, as long as you get the dodge effect, which allow you to do trauma a lot faster, as long as you have the energy to do the trauma. So you have to kind of like pay attention to where your energy is at and don't spam other things, and then you can actually get the Phantom Blast, which she does between 100 to 200k with it on top of the dot. Now, throw in Blazing Scarab. Blazing Scarab has a 30% chance to inflicting Scorch on a target, as well as all enemies within a certain range for 10 seconds. When landing an attack, triggers only once per 15 seconds. So you have like a 5-second downtime, basically, which is pretty nice for the most part. And again, Scourge deals damage equal to 20% of attack every 3 seconds for 10 seconds. Again, another scalable dot that scales off of your damage. Now, you can do this with anybody, but I do with her, and I actually did it with Hades and Scion. And what this actually does is this gives you extra AoE on top of everything, which is why it was called the Explode build in China. And you can put it on any character, and it's actually kind of interesting on fast melee characters too, because you basically end up, you see the little, it doesn't really give you like a big explosion. It's like a poof. It's really funny though, and then you see the fire dot on top of the enemy and then ticking off. And again, this is something that scales exponentially. Like, you always are going to get attack, so it's always going to scale and get stronger along with you. It just never stops. It just scales forever. So with her being that she is a linear target, I now gave a character with a linear target AoE, basically. So when she does the single target when I'm hitting stuff, like every 15 seconds, she's gonna burst AoE and then put dots on everything around her. And then the same thing as far as fighting a boss, you're gonna end up with 2 dots on the boss. So when you're dodging and everything else, you just end up back, doing extra damage, and you're just gonna watch the boss tick away, basically. So that's the explode build for people who are asking what am I talking about? There was explode build, and what I do with that is because she has a recommended in a certain area. So what I do is I replaced the recommended. As you can see, I replaced Kalido and Rage because I think this is overkill. Okay, like if you see me playing this, I have no problem with Rage because she attacks fast enough with enough people. This is not a problem at all. So I always thought that this was overkill for her. So what I did is I replaced the slot with the Scarab, as you guys can see. So it's no difference, basically. But yeah. So as far as did I manually, we need money. So here's what I do. Because Shinri is Shinri's carry 1A, carry 1B rather, and Hodur's carry 1A. They're both in the party at the same time, and then Sakura is the character that I actually use. Now, what I essentially do is I allow Shinri and Hodur just to run wild. Basically, just do whatever the hell you want to do, and I just stand there. You can play any character you want there in the middle as long as it's a character that won't die. For the most part, you can kind of just leave there. If you want to go easy mode with this, put somebody super tanky there. Like put Poseidon there or something like that has a lot of health. Or build somebody that's super tanky that you want to have and actually put there.
Let's finish this quickly. I'm only halfway through my research.
So like I said, I need money. And then because obviously Hodur is explode build, so she's gonna just basically, everything is deleted now. And they're gonna come running in. So when I need to farm and do stuff, this is what I'm doing. I'm not actually controlling anymore because the team is already built. They'll get back to them. And they'll eventually run over there and start hitting them because they'll ease off. Or if Hodur stop being stuck, there they go.
If there's nothing else, can I go?
I'm gonna keep doing that because I'm not running over there. The AI gets confused. And you see the fire taking on them over there.
Vital signs recovered with no abnormalities.
Also, the dodge is actually pretty lit too. The dodge heal for the cat, because when they dodge, you heal too. See? Hodur really don't want to work. You don't want to work. Just keep running back to me.
I don't need your praise.
And you can essentially do this for all of oh, I'm at my 5 already. I ain't doing that then. But you can essentially see basically all of these, you can do that with all of these. Here's a thing. This one you have to pay attention to because they can actually, and for some reason in the limit break one, they actually can kill the character just standing there. So I have to actually watch that. I don't control it all the time, but I have to watch it just to make sure, because for some reason they hit harder in there and they just kill it. But all the rest of them, you can just basically AFK it, basically. So if you don't even want to play, like you just want to expend the energy and get rid of it and then go about your business, something like that, you can just choose any of this one is especially easy. The factor collection one, super easy. I did that for past grudges. I didn't do any, like hardly any of past grudges except for the bosses and casualty survey. All I did was AFK the whole damn thing. like I just basically said, all right, y'all, Hodur, Shinri, do your thing. I'm busy. I got videos to edit, and that's what I did for those. So and you can do it too as long as you have 2 characters that are strong to carry. You don't need like 3 or nothing like that. You do need a character that's strong enough to stand it, that they can actually take a hit. That if you're AFK'd out somewhere, that they don't die from it. And also the Meow bot, Bikoko, helps out because, as you guys can see right there, restores 3% of HP to all teammates whenever the dodge effect is triggered. This is actually really clutch, especially if you don't want to use a healer, and you can actually fish out. You can fish it basically, and like put yourself in a situation to actually dodge. I go with Challenger, increased allied modifiers defense by 25% when there's only one enemy, which is okay and cool. And then Battlefield Dominance. You can put whatever you want to do. It also helps out farming wise because they just a little bit stronger basically in the beginning of the fight. But if you want to do something else, you can as well. And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys in this video. I wanted to address the whole explode thing. And if you want to go for different stuff, and you feel like there's a build that you want to work out with, what you have to do if you're gonna do stuff like that is where is it? Always forget resource hazard cleaner. Replace whatever it is in the recommended that you feel is you're not gonna use, or you feel that you can do without, because there is some cool stuff in here. So cool, like crit rate whenever a dodge is triggered, like that's actually pretty lit, which is extremely good for characters like Shinri because you're gonna have to dodge a lot, so she's automatically gonna get that crit rate and stuff like that. Like that's actually really cool. They don't recommend you to this stuff over here. It's just over here as supposed to be like the next up in the power, but always try to replace whatever recommended that you don't want to actually use if you don't agree with it, because this is like, I would say half of the recommended stuff that they agree for the characters that they put for the characters, I don't agree with. Increased damage when it's less than 40%. You have Debelong right here, increases ultimate skill. This is actually really, really nice, especially if you have a character that's really good for a special, like having a special like that, like it's a really amazing special. Nebel is actually extremely good. Blaze of Scarab, I just showed you. I've used Nebel in the past, and I've used Hippocratic Oath in the past as well. I kind of probably won't do that in global because I feel that Hippocratic Oath is overkill, and you don't need to heal as much as you think you do. Only in certain fights where there's so much AoE that it kills your ads. It kills your AI. Because AI can dodge and get out of stuff, but like if there's so much AoE, there's not much AI could do after a point where they're just gonna die, basically. So for fights like that, a healer with Hippocratic Oath is actually really good. But that's not a lot of things in the game, if we're being honest. Even in seeing at the highest level, there's not a lot of things in the game that put that much pressure on you that it kills your ads, for the most part. But it does exist. This is maybe like 5% of the fights in the game. Another 95% you can do without having a healer. So it's up to you. If you want to be extremely safe, go healer. It'll be slower to clear stuff, but you also probably will never die. So there's that. I will catch you guys next video. Be legendary, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.